I can't lie, I'm really excited, but we have to do the YouTube stuff first, so give me a second. What's the word? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. And if you have been here before, welcome back. I hope all is well with you. Yesterday we reviewed Killer Baby Daddy, so if you want to go take a look at that, go ahead and do that. That will be in the description box below. There'll be a playlist at the end of this, because at this point we're like 4 episodes in. I'm going to start trying to put these into a cohesive playlist. Or it'll just be on the end card or something. Well, not or something, but it'll be on the end card. Anyway, let's get to this, because
I'm gonna let you live for now.
Y'all let me live now.
Mm-hmm. But don't think for 1 second, no, you ain't gonna give me one of them little cute motherfuckers too now.
Now I done told your ass, if you want something slow and green, you better get you a turtle, ho.
You know, Harlem, thinking that you was just gonna leave me might be the dumbest shit you ever thought of. Cause I told you, bitch, if I can't have you, nobody can.
If I Can't is actually a really, really, really good movie. And I'm not just saying that to say that. If I Can't is a movie about a widowed woman who falls in love with the local drug dealer, and chaos pretty much ensues. Harlem, our main character, opens the movie really positive, really optimistic, extremely loving, everything that you would want out of a significant other. Emery, the father in question, hardworking man, 9 to 5, blue-collar worker, working to get a home and build a family in the way that he views, two kids and a white picket fence, kids, a dog and a white picket fence. I think that's how the saying goes. Well, we're in the process of that. They go to an open house, they close on the home, and then one night, as they are making a stop at a gas station for what is like, I think they're getting like Tylenol or something, they get robbed, or Emery gets robbed at gunpoint. He offers to give the man all his money,
cash,
but he doesn't go for it. Kaboom. Fast forward a little bit as we're coming to the birthday of Emery Jr., his first birthday, in fact, and Harlem is still in shambles. She's not doing well. Well, enter Lolo. You may know Lolo as London from Watch Your Bag. Lolo is a hairstylist, and so Lolo says, Harlem, you look like shit, gang. Come on, we gotta get you back together. So she offers to take her and do her hair, get her redone, take her out, get her out of the dumps, lift her spirits. And Harlem, while initially hesitant, actually says, you know what, I'm fucking with it this time. So she goes. The next day, Scott enters. Scott knocks or beats more on the door to the currently unopened beauty shop. Scott and Harlem then share a glance. Scott goes, makes the first move, while the girl he's currently with is literally like right out of the shot, mind you. And that is their introduction to one another. Later on in the day, literally was probably not even like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, Lolo appears, they open the shop, and then Harlem asks about Scott. Scott comes back in, asks if he can get his girl's hair done, and then Harlem says she doesn't really need this anyway. She gets up, she moves. Scott then goes, takes a seat next to Harlem, and then starts having, light conversation. Scott gives Harlem money, and even though she initially denies it and says, hey, no, I don't need this, have a husband, or now ex-husband, she still ends up taking the money. And then after that,
now come over here. Allow your fairy godmother, Miss Jamel Bagari of the legendary House of Bagari, to teach our new princess.
they go to the club. Harlem sporting a new hairdo, looking better, feeling better. The acts have changed. She's out of the funk that she was in after her husband passed, so they go to the club. They meet Scott yet again after a nigga tried to get aggressive with Harlem. Scott stops that, and then they go over into Scott's section. That's their first little, time spent together, situation spent together. And then the following day, they do the same thing, but not at the same club, obviously. And the situationship starts. We end Act 2 with Scott meeting Harlem's mom as we can start to see the cracks in Scott's personality.
I won't let you down, Miss Woods. I promise we're gonna be one big, happy family.
Aww.
At every step in Act 3, we find out just how fucking crazy Scott really is. It starts small with him questioning whether someone was her blood cousin or not. And then that quickly, in the same scene, mind you, advances into the hands.
Bitch, I am a man. You're gonna address me as such. Fuck wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? And when we start calling each other out our name, you just call me a bitch, Scott?
Scott then doubles down at a pool party when, after Harlem was asked to bring someone a plate that wasn't Scott and he didn't have his plate first, he fucking lost it. Scott then proceeds to buy Harlem a car because, in the words of the first girlfriend that Scott had,
The bigger the gifts, the harder the hits.
and this doesn't stop here. A year later, as Harlem is walking into her home, she sees her son, who now looks to be about like 3 or 4, and all around him is nothing but drug paraphernalia. After she confronts Scott and threatens to leave, Scott then proceeds to chase her up the steps. She looks at her son, she says, "We're going to go, and no matter what happens, do not open your eyes until we get to the car. No matter what happens." Scott gets to them before they get to the door, and, well, I'll let you see for yourself.
Damn, Mom. See what the fuck you made me do? But you talking about leaving me?
More months pass, Scott and Harlem are still together, and Scott is about to go on the road. Now, while this scene isn't long, it is quite important. I can't give you the whole thing, so I'll just give you a quick play-by-play. As Scott's preparing to go out of town, we find out that Harlem is pregnant with that baby girl that Scott mentions before he leaves, and earlier on in their whole situationship. 7 months pass, Harlem is fully showing now, and we are at the baby shower of the soon-to-be baby girl. Scott reappears, and by now you can tell they have not been seeing eye to eye and haven't been doing well at this point. Harlem is most definitely fed up, and Scott is trying to desperately get his family back, to no avail. After getting down on bended knee and failing, he offers one of the worst push presents you could think of. Remember this gentleman from earlier that you feel like had nothing to do with the story? Well, he's the present.
You can't hear me? Fucking stupid whore bitch! Hear what I said? You ain't your fucking lucky thing, bitch!
You got anything you want to say to this bitch ass nigga before I blow his brains out?
Yeah. Guess today ain't your lucky day, huh, motherfucker?
Immediately after that, Harlem finds out that Scott is back to his old ways, as while she's with her cousin Shayna, he calls Shayna's phone. We jump immediately to the next morning, where we all find out together that Jamel from the beauty shop, his HIV turned into full-blown AIDS, so he has about a week left.
Talk to me, friend. What's going on?
I'm in hospice. And the doctor said I don't really have more than a week to live.
Jamel proceeds to tell Harlem the thing that's been running through my mind and the mind of many others.
I need one thing from you.
What's that?
Leave Scott ass alone.
You know he really changed, though.
After getting on the phone with Scott and telling him that she was going to be at the hospital as late as she quite possibly could and then go pick up the kids, Scott thinks that he has time, but that does not go to plan, and Harlem walks in on Scott cheating on her with the cousin Shayna outright. This was enough to put a battery in Harlem's back, because next thing we know, she has not spoken to Scott for a while and is buying everything that she needs in order to move to Atlanta and not come back. Taking the kids with her, taking the mama, the whole nine. Bought a business already with the money that her husband left when he passed. Whole time, Scott is hell-bent on getting his family back, and so the day comes where there's a going-away party. Everyone is set to make their final goodbyes, hugs, kisses. Harlem is going to move to Atlanta, and everybody's going to be able to ride off into the sunset. Scott, however, this whole time has been hell-bent on getting his family back and won't even accept if you don't believe that he can get his family back. And how does he prove this? First body of the movie, second body of the movie, he takes Shayna, gets her up out of here because she thinks that her and Scott will be together, and she was pregnant by him at the time. So Scott decided to just do away with the whole situation.
Look, ain't nobody fucking with you. I'm trying to get my family back.
Your family? Nigga, I hope you ready to add a new addition, because I'm pregnant.
Bitch! Bitch! Told you we get this motherfucking family back. I'm sorry, huh? I'm sorry.
We are at the going away party now, where everyone can say their hugs, their kisses, their goodbyes, and shed their tears. And Scott just does his best to make an ass of himself. And on this day, he chooses to stand by the words, "If I can't have you, no one can." As after he has walked in and has a note for his daughter that gets placed on the kitchen counter, he then attempts to go get Harlem back for one last time before she says no, and he lights up the entire party. Starting with the kids. Then moves on to Harlem. Well, the kid in question, the ex-husband's kid, and then moves on to Harlem. He does not forget to get Lolo out of here, though.
Hell, I hate him.
I always hated you too, little nigga. Cause I told you, bitch, if I can't have you, nobody can.
Where shortly thereafter, he is confronted by Harlem's mother. She attempts to take matters into her own hands, and even that little bit of revenge is taken away from her as Scott turns a gun on himself and decides to end it all.
It's going
This movie wraps with a note from Scott, the note that was given earlier addressed to his daughter, True. And the letter truly solidifies just how crazy this man was. And the credits roll.
Dear True, I wish you could read or talk so you can tell Mama we will always be a family. Because if I can't have her, no one ever will. Love, Daddy.
This was a great movie, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to sit here and sing praises of villains for too long, but I love a good villain. And Scott, boy, oh boy, did you come through. They gave you the best line delivery. Well, not the best line delivery, but they gave you some of the best lines. You have fantastic line delivery within yourself. Harlem stood on her own as well. Lolo in here in London, side characters, even they felt like they had some weight to them as well. Jamel, fantastic job. Shayna, for what you were there for, great job. Fantastic job by the mother as well. It's an all-around great movie. This movie was fantastic. I cannot recommend this enough, but I don't want to spend 15 minutes here singing its high praises. The praises are deserved, but I don't want to, spend 15 minutes doing that. The video's long enough. I just want to say this movie is the first entry into peak cinema, deservedly so. If you have not seen this movie, you can hit the description box below. Go watch it. Great movie. Actually a great movie. Fantastic job. There was some things that I, wasn't a fan of. A couple of negative stereotypes here and there, but it stayed true to theme and definitely made the viewer aware that yes, there may be bright spots in these types of negative and toxic relationships. However, those bright spots are going to be deeply overshadowed by all of the negativity, the conflict, and the possible disaster scenario that you could end up in if you stay in and if you maintain this type of a toxic relationship. This movie, for me, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10. As always, you can hit the description. You'll see the movie down there if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you can leave your opinion in the comment box below. Please, one more time, do not forget to subscribe. And as always, y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. I'll see you later. Peace. Day 3, nigga.